So this will be part two of our um chapter 14 project. Since we couldn't fit everything in one video, I'm still the driver, Sharon is still my navigator. And then now we are creating online paint app. They said create a drawing application where the user can draw using their mouse in a canvas element. When the user is within the canvas element and clicks down on the mouse button, holding the button down will add lines, producing a drawing effect within canvas element. The color, width, drawing pencil can be changed dynamically for more functionality. In addition, this app will include a save button to save and download the image from the canvas element, as well as clearing the current content. So they gave us the HTML template there. We have our borderlines, solid black, and we have the click button. We have the button to save, we have button to clear. We have the input for color, and then we have the input for minimum and range for the width, and then we have a function for the pen um, that we're gonna use, and then we have the output for the whole thing when we're done saving and downloading. So they said we have created a button to save and a button to clear, an input for color using HTML5 color type, and the range type to get numeric value of the pen width. We have also added page elements for the canvas and an output area. Using JavaScript, select all the page elements as JavaScript objects and set up canvas element to draw. So the JavaScript objects that they mean, it's this the canvas, the color, the width. So every time they tell us about JavaScript object, they mean all these things on the HTML. So that's why we said let canvas equals to document.create selector, and then we selected our canvas because that's our title, and then we said let context equals to canvas dot get context, and then we then said let pen color document dot create selector. So we're selecting the color of the pen, and then we are selecting the width. We have the width here, and then we are selecting again the save button, and then we are selecting again the clear button, and then again we selecting the output. So we select all these things which are inside the body, we select them, and then obviously we're gonna have, yeah, all things that are on the body, the canvas, the save button, the clear button, the color, everything. Where every time they tell us about JavaScript objects, this is what we collect and we select them. That's why we use the query selector. So we're selecting. And then they said set a variable to track the location of the pen. So we're gonna use we said the function here, and then um, this function was has 0 x in values and y, and then this way it starts, this way it ends, and then on the canvas add event listener to track down mouse movement, update the pen position to the last x and last y position, and then set up location position to client x and y, create a function to draw at pen, at the pen position, and invoke the draw function. So we're gonna say canvas dot style dot border one pixel solid black, and then this, and then we add an event listener for every time we click. Every time we click our button, it must save as image here, save image. So every time we have a button and we need it to do something, we must add an event listener. It must listen to our click, and then we add another uh, event listener, or when we click our button for clearing, but for clearing it must listen and clear the canvas. And then we're going to add another event listener so that every time we move our mouse we must see where it is. And then And then they said for mouse down, draw set draw to true. For mouse ups, for mouse up and mouse out, set draw to false. So um, that's what we did here. Mouse down, it's true. Mouse up, false. Um, so event listeners just basically that whatever we do, whatever that we are doing, it must listen and do what we want. So here we adding that when mouse is down, it must be true. When it's up, it must be false. When it's out of our box, it must be false. And then they said we must, and then we created a function to save the image when we are done. And then let data URL. The URL is our file, is where our things go when we save. So canvas dot to data URL. We are letting our picture where to go. It must go to the URL where we save our things, console.log data URL. Then we say let image equals to document to create element. So here we are saying our image, we are telling our image that uh, it must be a document. So we are alerting our image when it saves, it must be a document, as we have document dot create element. So we are telling it to create an element which is a document, and then output dot prepend. So here they said we must create an image element and prepend it to the output area element. Set the CRC path to data URL. So that's why here we are preparing, we are using the prepend method, and then we put image, and then image dot set attribute CRS data URL, as they told us. So we must set the path uh, where our image should go, which would be under the URL. And then they said set a download of the image, create an anchor tag, append it anywhere with an HTML page, create file name. You can generate unique file name with method random, set the hyperlink to download attribute,
What this is? Sure, sure, sure.
and then set the hyperlink attribute and the href path to the data URL path, and then trigger a click with click method once clicked. And then that's what we did here. Um, we created let file name, because they said it must just choose any random file. So we said dot random, and then a string, then substring, and then a png is how we want our pictures to be saved. And then we set the attribute it must download via the file name. And then we link our data URL, and then click output remove child link. And then function, we created a function called clear canvas, and then let temporary um, is it array, but it asks us if we want to really clear our canvas. And then if that function that is asking us if we want to clear, and then it must clear everything, the width and the height. And then this is the function to draw with our pencil. So and then it will allow us to change the color, and then the width of the pen. And then yeah, that's it. So I'm just gonna run and see if this is actually, so we're gonna choose the color here, which color we want to use. So we're gonna use red. We're gonna choose our pen here, and then we're gonna write. So it's not gonna show here when we write, but when we save, it's gonna download, and then we're gonna open it. I'm sure we're gonna see something. um, we are supposed to see something. Okay, let's choose another color to use. It's supposed to, no, I don't want
Try
that.
and make the color, yeah, and then click on it. Click on that color,
Yeah.
yeah, and then choose the pencil. But it keeps going back to white.
I don't know why. So we won't see anything because the background is white, but it is not supposed to be white. Um, what I know is that is definitely it is definitely drawing, but it's not supposed to be white. Okay, so let's draw and see. Let's see. Hmm. But that's how we were supposed to do the whole thing. Um, Unfortunately, the background keeps on going to white, so we can't really see what we're drawing when we download. Let me see this okay. But that was it. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. I honestly understand.
Okay, thank you very much.